I don't even know how to spell sentient, but I'll tell you this: that
Nice.
I did
Wasn't the
have
question.
that. I did. Yeah, I don't even know what that word means, but I did have that kind of moment the other day. I was in the mall and I was like, "There's a lot of people in here," and I was like, "Oh my god, all these people are like here for a reason. Like they have something to do, and then they have something to do after this. Like it's just incredible to me how many faces you don't recognize compared to how many you do recognize." It was just like a step back moment. I was like, "There's a lot of people here, and they're all here for a reason." Like that's nuts.
Yeah. And then the weirder thing is when you see some of those faces in your dreams and you think that they're strangers, but they're not. They're just people that you have seen before, and your subconscious brain has registered that and saved it for later.
You by you saying that just reminded me that when I was at the mall, there was somebody that looked exactly like you, Austin, and I for 10 seconds was about to say out loud, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
That's crazy.
And and that's the God honest truth. If you didn't bring that up, I wouldn't have remembered that. But I remember walking out and I was like fiddling on my phone or something. And then I went to go look up and I saw this guy walking and I was like, "The fuck is he doing here?" You know what I'm saying? But it's weird also like how many people look similar but are very different, you know?
I'll tell you what, nobody looks like me.
Damn right. Don't you
Damn
fucking
right.
forget
I was
it.
going to say, you haven't seen him in that long that he forgot what you looked like. It was just a
Isn't that
random white guy
crazy?
with a goatee, and he was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, Austin."
Honestly, kind of racist, dude.
Yeah, all white people look the same, Mike? Is that what you're trying to
What
say?
the fuck? That's some self-hate.
Is this podcast almost over or are we
I don't know, but
we
it's,
haven't even officially started the podcast.
I know, right? We're kind
We
of
have
in
to
a cult.
cut like the first 7 minutes.
All right, hit us with the intro.
All right.
Yeah,
Let's
we're only
get-
making Victor's job harder right now.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
I don't think that makes sense. All right, guys, welcome back to episode 131 of Laundry in the Basement. I'm
What is
probably going
going
to keep
on?
some of that in. I mean, I thought that was pretty funny.
That was Mike's new intro.
Yeah,
Mike wrote that.
you did.
Right, Mike?
Can we take out the part where you basically put words in my mouth that I thought all white people look the same?
No, that's staying.
He didn't that wasn't even
That's not staying in.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? That probably wasn't going to be in until you said that.
Yeah, now we have to give them context,
Yeah.
So that'll stay in.
Yeah.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, like this sentient conversation we were having before. Do you guys have like an inner monologue?
Oh God, yeah.
For sure. I don't know if
Okay.
it sounds like me though, but there's a monologue there.
See, so I saw something that is like 50% of people don't have one, which is
You're lying.
interesting to me because it's like everyone that I talk to has one. So I really would like to know. I would love to meet someone who doesn't have an inner monologue.
But how do you define that, right? Because people probably have different opinions on what that actually is.
I think it's just like being able to hear a voice in your head when you think. Like being
I
able to
feel-
like read something, you know what I mean?
I feel like everybody's version of an inner monologue is different. I think, is that what you're trying to say, Austin? I feel like some people say no because their version of an inner monologue is not like the same as our version per se.
Yeah, like I feel like if people are thinking an inner monologue, at least for me, right? Like I'm thinking about like a voice. Like I'm thinking about something, but I'm hearing it being said in my head,
Yep.
kind of deal. And maybe that's my own voice, maybe that's somebody else's voice, or maybe it's not a voice at all, right? Like maybe me consciously making the effort to read something out loud and process it is my inner monologue. I just don't think of it that way, but it's getting pretty meta. So
That's deep, bro.
it's deep. Wait, but where were you going with that?
Nowhere. I just wanted to ask that question
Oh,
just to see
sick.
if one of us didn't have one.
Sick. Mike,
Because
do
if
you
I had to
have-
put my money on anyone, it would have been Mike. But
Oh,
Guys, I think I'm number one in line for inner monologue. It's nuts.
Mike doesn't have an inner monologue. He just spits his thoughts out like vocally.
I'm standing in line at the deli at the grocery store. I'm just like, world peace.
okay.
What else, Mike? What
Yeah,
else is on your
that's all
brain
you got
right
on
now?
your mind there?
I mean,
World
isn't
peace
that
at the deli?
isn't that the goal for every person
No.
in this world?
No. It's to
No.
get money.
You guys don't want world peace?
No. World
It would
peace
be
would be
nice.
so boring.
World peace would be what, Austin?
It would be boring.
Oh, because what? You're not making money? Because
Why is
war
that
makes
the first thing
money?
that you think that I think about?
I don't know. That's
from
usually
that
what people say.
sentence?
It's like, oh, war is good. It drives up the economy.
No, I think that if the entire world was in a peaceful state, people would be unhappy, for sure.
Well, is peace and happiness the same thing?
Okay, now you're asking a question that I can't answer. Right?
Think about it.
I don't think so.
Some people live in a peaceful state when they're murdering other people.
Yeah.
That's fucked up, but that's also true.
You know, Mike, you saying things after me that don't add to the conversation, you got to keep it going, right? Like,
yes, let's continue to talk about murder. Yeah, let's hone in on that. What kind of knife do you use when you murder somebody, Austin? Get the fuck out of
I say something and Mike's, you know what? That's a sentence and it ended with a period.
Yeah.
I'm validating your statements and feelings, and you're just shitting on my validation.
But you know what, Mike?
This is why men's mental health is at an all-time low.
Shut the fuck up.
This is why your mental health is at an all-time low.
Don't even get me started. Anyways, I have two things to follow up on from last episode, and then a third one that we talked about at the end of the last episode that hopefully we could talk about this episode. That the third one is talking about our Jerry Springer story. So hopefully we could get to that, because I know last episode we were talking about that, because I want to know what you guys remember and if we all remember the same thing. But my two updates that I have for you guys is I took your guys' advice. I know, shocker. And I wore my blue light glasses out in public for the first time.
Okay.
And the experience was confusing for me. And I'll explain to you why.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Hold on. I want to start off this story by before you get into it, nobody told you to go out and wear those things in public.
Yeah, we didn't give you that advice.
I can't stand
give you
it.
that advice.
I can't. No, you didn't give me that advice. But you guys were saying like, oh, you should feel comfortable doing it, this and that. And
you said you should feel comfortable from your own home.
Right, yeah.
Not going out to like the Cheesecake Factory with these dumbass glasses on.
We all came to the collective.
So now you're saying the glasses are dumb? Is that what it is?
No,
you know what? I don't want to tell the story anymore.
Hey,
You know what?
Mike,
You hurt my feelings.
Mike,
10 minutes in.
do this.
He's laughing at it too.
Tell the story.
No, I don't want to tell the story.
Just tell
The glasses are dumb. I'm going to take them off.
Tell
I look like a
the
fool. I'm not telling the story. That's bullshit.
Come on,
Listen,
keep going.
You were confident enough to wear them out in public. You're confident to wear them now.
Yeah,
We want to hear the story.
I was confident enough to wear my, quote, stupid ass fucking blue light glasses, end quote. Yeah, thanks. I'm going to tell my story now on this podcast. Fuck out of here, people.
Come on, let's go.
I wore him to Stop and Shop. I wore him to the grocery store. I was like, let me start small. I wore him to the grocery store. The problem was I'm so used. The only glasses I wear outside of the home are sunglasses. So the whole time I was squinting like, why aren't these glasses working? Because I was thinking there's sunglasses, and I was like, why am I fucking squinting the whole time? Because they were not sunglasses, they were blue light glasses. So I don't think I'm gonna wear them out. I did the trial run. I feel like sunglasses is the only thing that I should be wearing out.
I feel like I always do the little like Jim from The Office look anytime Mike gives one of his little stories. There's like a little line in the middle, and I just like look at Victor directly, like, what are we supposed to do with that? Right?
Also,
so you went out and you said, these glasses should protect me from the sun. And then you looked into the sun with your little baby eyes. And you went, ow.
This is why this is the problem right here. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the prosecution rests because this motherfucker once again basically said everything that I exactly did not say. I said I wore them out, and I was confusing them as regular sunglasses.
Wait,
is that not what I just said?
But indoors you were.
No, I was I had to drive to the grocery store, so while I'm in the car driving,
in Stop and Shop, you were squinting. Right. I was like, "What do you mean?"
No.
I was like, "Maybe you do need glasses. You're squinting at the little barcodes and shit. Maybe you do need them."
Well, that was a waste of my emotions. I'll never get back. But anyways,
well, that's a good.
Well, it was fun for us.
Yeah, I had a good time.
No, I'm glad everybody had a kick.
All
on
right,
my
story number 2, Mike. Let's hear it.
Yeah,
my latest Story number 2, we're going to do long story short on this one, was my latest Zyn experience.
Jesus Christ.
And let me tell you, boys, I'm not doing it anymore.
Thank you. Jesus. Thank God.
I'm not doing it anymore. I tried a 6 milligram winter fresh. Now, in retrospect,
hold on.
remember,
Give me, like, for everybody that doesn't understand the scale here, what is 6 milligrams compared to, like, is that a small dose? Is that
it's
high
a small dose, so it starts at 3 milligram and it goes up by 3. So we got 3, 6, 9. What is the highest it goes up to? 12, maybe? I think it may be 12.
There might be a 15 milligrams in.
There could be, but in retrospect, those blue e-cigars that I brought were 24 milligrams.
Is it bad that my brain went to 369? Damn, you're fine.
Nope, I did the same thing.
Yeah,
If we wouldn't get copyrighted, I'd ask to play that song right now.
you could sing it. We wouldn't get copyrighted.
Yeah.
To the window. I feel like somebody would sue me.
Anyway,
So,
sorry. So you did your big boy 6 milligrams.
Yes, I tried it.
Mm-hmm.
It lasted about 3 minutes.
Is that normal?
No, God, it's not. It's not normal. It's because I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I lasted about, I would say, 3 to 5 minutes. I spit it out.
That's normal for you.
Yeah.
That's also very normal for you.
Yeah, that sounds
Both
about right.
senses, back to back.
From the stories that you've told us about your experiences,
Yeah.
that sounds about the right length of time.
And I was getting in the car to drive and immediately lightheaded.
Right.
Yeah, man, you
Immediately
just did
lightheaded.
nicotine, and you
I
don't
was
regularly do nicotine.
sweating. I was sweating, dude. I had no jacket on. I had the windows down. I was sweating. My body was rejecting it so bad. And then my body was rejecting it and it was weeding it out. And then I started getting nauseous and I was like, I'm going to fucking puke right here. I was like, I'm going to have to pull off to the side of the road and puke. Like, it's disgusting. So my body was going back and forth between like lightheaded headache and then just like nauseousness. And like, I'm just sweating it out and stuff. And I was like, it's not worth it. It's not.
I'm
picturing-
glad this happened to you.
Oh.
The amount of times I've told you in the last week to not do Zins, I think I've said it at least 100 times to not do Zins.
Tell him my what I texted you last night about. I was like, this is a sign.
He's like, I'm at a dive bar and there's a bunch of Zins left over in the bathroom. Should I take one?
No. I
Oh.
told him that I was at a dive bar and there was Zim
that's-
packets in the urinal. I was like, I think this is a sign.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we probably could have gotten there without the urinal Zins, but
Yeah.
hey, listen, I'm glad you learned your lesson. And as you were talking about that story, I was picturing, you guys watched the original Pinocchio, right?
No.
Yeah.
No? It's a trip. Like, you almost have to be on some drugs when you watch this thing because it's, it's like the old, like, 1930s Disney movies. Like, they're trippy. Like, they're...
Yeah.
But they had a scene where Pinocchio tries a cigar for the first time. And he tries it and he, like, turns green and his eyes are, like, all, like, whatever. Like, that's what I pictured Mike was like in the car.
Yeah, no, it wasn't good. It's to a point where I think I may. Obviously, I'm not going to do that anymore. But I think I may lay off cigars for a while too. I think by transitive property, that's going to start to bother me too. If I next time I have a cigar, so I think
weeding
boys.
out the bad things.
Yeah,
That's right.
Wait,
Go ahead.
What's the next vice then?
I don't know, but I thought we were supposed to take a shot of tequila every 15 minutes we were doing this episode. So
No, that was when like we were like not on a work night.
Yeah, bro, it's Sunday night.
Yeah, we were getting loose. That was like if we did this on Thursday.
Thursday's a work night.
Yeah, but it's Friday. It's the end of the week. You got the weekend coming up. Now we have the beginning of the week.
What
That
that
sucks.
Austin,
Is-
if
Yeah,
you
no,
don't back me the fuck up right now, I swear to
I'm
God.
with you.
If you don't
All right,
back me the fuck
Listen,
up right
the
now.
only reason I agreed is because I'm off on Fridays, and that would have been nice for me.
That would have been great.
It would have been a good time. Well, maybe next time. Maybe next time we'll do it. So those are my status updates from previous episodes. So
Well, and then you wanted to talk about
Hey, you
Jerry
want to just
Springer.
roll into the Jerry Springer stuff?
Hmm.
Also, are you
Yes.
drinking Pedialyte?
I am drinking Pedialyte. I actually like it. But I am pretty dehydrated today.
Did you have a long night or?
Yeah.
No, I didn't have a long night last night, but I was helping somebody. Move today most of the day, so pretty dehydrated. So
I don't think I've ever seen anybody casually drink Pedialyte.
I
think I've only seen people drink it the day after going on a bender.
Yeah. And I've only seen people slam it too. This is not a casual sipping drink that like Mike is doing right now.
Aren't those like a little viscous or salty?
This one's not bad. The grape one is actually pretty good. It's more sugary than anything. It has a high sugar content, but
well, yeah, it's the electrolytes.
Total sugar per container, 25 grams. So
I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I don't know whether that's a lot or not.
Yeah.
So, we talked last time about because we were watching Temptation Island Spain, which led us to trying to talk about Jerry Springer. And there's a photo of Victor and I at the show that when they cut to us. And I wanted to bring it up because I wanted to see what we remembered of that. Because that was a long time. Guys, you have to realize we were 19 when we went. I mean, we were fresh out of high school.
Just little babies, man.
Yeah, that was 10 years ago. I remember nothing. I have no clue what happened on that episode.
We would have had to have been at least 18. I don't think we could have gotten tickets without that.
Mm-hmm.
No, we had to be at least 18, but we, they give out free tickets because they want the audience. They did 2 tapings. Remember that we had to stay. We were there for a long time. We were there for a while. But I only remember the first group that they brought out, and I don't remember anything else, but I remember looking at like after that ended. Oh no, I do remember too.
I remember too.
And I remember looking at the first, like after the first one, we all looked at each other and was like, we're in for it, baby. This is going to be good. Do you remember what it was?
I remember two of the acts. I remember, first of all, I remember it being, when did Jerry Springer stop the show?
Not too long.
It couldn't have been more than, 4 or 5 years?
Well, he died 2 years ago.
Right, but he had stopped the show before then. No?
Yeah, so he may have stopped it maybe like 5 years ago.
Right, because I remember us talking to each other and we were like, is he going to come down the fire escape?
Oh, yeah, we wanted him to slide down the pole.
Yeah, I remember somebody asked him, like, could you slide down the pole?
They cheered him on. He was doing the Q&A session after one of them, and somebody had specifically asked him to do it, and he went up there and he slid on down like a champ. But
like Jerry does.
Right. So I remember 2 things, and I know you're telling this, so I won't say anything. I just want to confirm.
No, I want us to all say it to see if we remember either the same things or something different.
I remember one was one of the bits was a set of twins that were arguing, or they were trying to get the same guy, and they decided to settle that by wrestling each other in a mud pit on stage.
Okay.
That's the second one I remember.
Yeah.
That one was hilarious.
I remember the mud pit. I don't remember the lead up to it.
Yeah, and then the first one that I remember, I don't remember what the bit was. I don't remember what it looked, but all I remember was that the woman crashed out on stage and then got undressed, like and like dropped her boobs out and was showing everybody in the crowd, like trying to prove that she was like a real woman or something like that.
Oh yes, we remember the same one. Yes, it was.
Yeah,
it was the first one, first one that came out, and what happened was something along the lines of this girl found videos of another girl on this guy's phone or some text messages, whatever, about like, hey baby, come over or something like that. And remember, there was a video of that girl like pouring chocolate on herself. Remember, it was like chocolate syrup and whatever.
Yes.
So then they bring her out. They're arguing up along, and she's saying like, you're a fake bitch or this and that. And then the girl that was in the video was like, you're not a real woman, like you ain't real, like I'm real. And she was like, oh, I'm not real. She goes, I'll show you what's real, and just fucking blows her top off, tits out. I just remember Victor just clapping his ass off. He was just like, yeah.
I also remember,
that's crazy.
I also
don't
remember
that at all.
Yes, 100%.
A good chunk of that crowd was like, put it away, put it away.
I just remember looking at you guys being like, guys, Session 1, we're already seeing tits. Like, this is going to be a great day. You know?
What a show.
It was great. I don't remember much, but I do remember the mud wrestling. They brought out like the inflatable pool.
Yep.
And then they do the Q&As at, like, you know, they sit everybody down and do some. I remember some of the jokes were funny and stuff like that. But those were the two I remember.
And then he did some crowd work, but he did that for both of them, I think. And sadly, we didn't get called on because I don't remember any of us actually saying anything.
No, I think we were too. I don't. I, think we were too
I know
chicken
for a
shit.
fact I did not put my hand up to say something in that.
No, no, I was not going to say anything that was going to sound.
That was about it. What a good time. We looked like, I'm sorry, we looked like we were 12 years old, by the way. So I'm sure that if Jerry Springer was going through the crowd, he's probably like, I'm not going to ask them anything because then they're going to question our standards on who we let in here.
Yeah.
Vic, do you have the picture? I sent it in the group. Put the picture up. Like when you,
when I edit this later,
yeah, put it up. And I want to say, I don't remember what the episode is. I'm sure, like, if we went back enough, we could find it on demand.
I'm trying to look for it, but I can't really find it.
But then
I could tell you when it aired.
2 dudes doing the mud wrestling. That's not the show we were at.
No, I could tell you when it aired. I could tell you the date.
Okay, yeah.
I remember.
If you could remember the date, maybe I could go and find it.
Because my cousin, I have this cousin from Pittsburgh, Jason. I don't see him a lot, but a nice guy, big sports guy, and he messages me on Facebook, and he was like, "Dude, you're on TV," and I'm like, "How am I on Pittsburgh television?" And he sends me the photo. He's like, "No, you're on Jerry Springer. This is April 8th, 2019. So we're out of college at this point."
Yeah. Which, by the way, I think at some point we had seen the clip.
There's no way
we went in 2019 or
no,
like,
there's no way.
Not.
There's no way we went in 2019. So they probably reran it.
Right, but I think we had seen the clip after that. Like, somebody had hunted it down, and it was like you and Vic were on that clip for maybe a half a second.
Oh yeah, no, they were just panning to crowd.
Right, so I am baffled that somebody actually picked you out from that broadcast and was like, "Holy shit!" Because I remember we had talked about it. We were like, "Yo, people are probably going to see us on TV." Nobody saw.
Yeah,
nobody saw that.
So this is the message. This is, I haven't read this obviously in years. I'll read it to you guys. He goes, "Hey, how are you? I'm just randomly, and I mean randomly, watching Jerry Springer. The People's Court just ended, and that's my show. So I'm watching, and not even 5 minutes in, they show the crowd. Please tell me that's you sitting in the audience. It's a twin if not." I instantly caught it, and thankfully I have DVR and rewinded it. And I said, "Hey, cuz," I said, "Yeah, I've been to the Jerry Springer show once, like 2 years ago. So maybe 2017.
That makes a little bit more sense. Yeah. We were in college.
I said, "I think I was wearing a blue and black plaid button shirt." He goes, "Laugh my ass off. They're airing the episode." And this is it.
Look at you guys. Vic's so happy. That's right there.
That's Vic's face after seeing the first pair of tits. Let me tell you.
That's when she whipped them out right there.
That joy has been stolen from me. That might be the last time I've been happy.
Well, hold on. Can we all take a moment to appreciate too, Vic? Put that back up. And I know that, like, yeah, put that picture back up, Mike.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, let me get it. But yeah, that's the only two I remember. I remember us being like on a couple of them, be like, "All right, those were pretty fucking whack." But I remember the first one and the mud wrestling.
Dude, look at that, Vic. You had one of the best heads of hair I'd ever seen.
I don't want to talk about it.
I know you don't want to talk about it.
Talk about it.
That was after. Okay, remember how flawless his hair was after bowl cut?
All right, yeah. Hey guys. Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
All right.
It looked really nice.
It was very nice.
But it wasn't.
Emphasis on was. All right.
All right. We're striking a chord. We got to roll. We got to roll. Austin, we got to roll. We're striking a chord, Doc. We're striking a chord.
I know.
I'm pulling up the world's smallest violin.
All right,
man.
Anyway.
Not good.
Yeah. So I just wanted to see what you guys remembered out of that. I didn't. I only remembered a few things.
Let's talk about
Speaking
some
of
real
sports,
funny
you guys
shit.
want to talk
Okay,
about
yeah,
this?
you can go
This.
into your Four Nations shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I don't know. I'm
No,
just
no.
gonna keep rolling with it until you
Yeah,
guys bring something
no.
up. But
I do want to talk about Four Nations because it
do you
was
hold
a
on?
great
Say that
format.
again.
No, I want to talk about Four Nations.
Okay, I'm
Talk
sorry.
about it right
Something.
fucking
Something.
now, Mike.
Fucking start your bit.
Jesus.
Hold on. Say that again.
Oh, did
I
you
said
like
talk
lose the
about it.
audio?
Oh, okay. There we go. There we go. My thing.
Damn,
Came.
did he miss that?
Yeah, I did miss it. And please don't bring it up again. I mean, it's probably gonna hurt my feelings. So don't even think about. Don't even bring it up. But I don't even know what it was. But
Yeah,
I don't
go
even
ahead,
want to
go
hear
ahead.
it. But so everybody's talking about the Four Nations, and Austin, you don't know about the Four Nations. So what the National Hockey League did was instead of doing an All-Star break, they did a Four Nations like competition, and they narrowed it to the U.S., Canada, Finland, and Sweden. And they did like how long was it, Vic? Just like 2 weeks or something?
Yeah, I want to say it was 2 weeks. They did like a quick double elimination, I think. Everyone had to play like 3 games before the final.
Mm-hmm. So they did this quick tourney style, like as their version of like an all-star break, right? Compared to the NBA one and the Pro Bowls and this and that.
Right.
And it was electric.
Yeah.
Like national pride has never been at an all-time high like this before. Like
well, maybe for some people.
But
I was gonna say, if I haven't heard of this,
Yeah. I don't really know. I mean, if you're a hockey fan and you're watching, like, yeah, definitely, I think.
But it traveled like so this is
also,
the
I won't even
say
say that because I was watching the game and rooting for Canada.
Yeah, but that's because you hate America.
I'll tell you what.
Well,
I'll go out there and I'll root for fucking anybody.
But this is what people it brought out the sense, but like in all four nations, like in Canada too, like it just brought out like the national pride of these nations, like the group play game versus USA and Canada. 3 fights broke out within the first 9 seconds.
Yeah.
And it was just brawling.
Well,
And
all right, you got to give context, unless I missed the context while watching this video on Reddit when I pulled my head away. But they started the fights because they were booing the anthem.
yes, they were playing in Montreal. Yeah, they were playing at the Bell Center in Montreal.
And for the whole of the Four Nations, like the whole tournament, they played a lot of it in Canada. Every time the U.S. national anthem was played, the Canadians booed. And I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago, where like we were talking about booing the national anthem or whatever. It's because of that. It was during the Four Nations. So
yeah, that's
on that last game,
shit.
like and it was a big game because I think it wasn't elimination, was it, Mike? That Saturday game, or was it?
No, the Saturday game was group play. The finals was that Thursday after.
Because in that Saturday game, like they boo the national anthem again. 3 fights start right at the puck drop. USA wins. I can't remember. I think they won all 3 fights, right?
Yeah.
They won all 3 fights. You know, the boys are buzzing. The crowd's going wild.
They end up winning the game.
Yeah, the US wins the game 3-1, and it set up the matchup on Thursday.
And then they went into the final. They played it in Boston at TD Garden. There actually was not booing for the Canadian one. Actually, the whole arena in unison sang "Oh Canada," which I thought was a beautiful moment. They lost. The U.S. lost in overtime, just like in 2010. They broke my heart again. But now other leagues are inspecting the success of this and being like, how can we implement this in our leagues? Because nobody cares about the NBA All-Star game. Nobody cares about the Pro Bowl now. Remember when the Pro Bowl was, they were full body checking dudes out on the field and nobody was getting hurt. Yeah, Sean Taylor laid out that dude. I mean, those were fun times, and now they're playing flag football.
I don't think it matters about the format. It matters about the players' effort, and that's what I'll say. Like the U.S. and like Canadian national teams. I didn't watch any of the Finland or Sweden games. I'm sure it was all competitive throughout, obviously, but like those last 2 games, both teams fucking wanted it. They wanted to win. They were there, like I don't remember who it was, but like I don't know how the injury happened, but like one of the Bruins players, Charlie McAvoy, like had to be hospitalized.
Oh my god!
Like, again, either from taking a hit or giving a hit. I can't really remember.
He got busted his was it his shoulder or something? It got
Yeah.
busted, but he wanted to keep going. It got so
did.
bad where
He
it got infected.
He played the game. He played the rest of the game. The shoulder got infected, and he was like, "Yeah, like if I could, I would play tonight, like on Thursday." But they were like, "Yeah, you can't. We're not going to let you fucking touch the ice." But that's
And these are dudes who are jeopardizing their regular
Yeah.
money career to play for their nation.
Yeah.
Like these
Are
dudes.
they though? I thought it was a part
no,
of.
it is and it isn't. Like they still have to go back to their teams after this. Like that guy might miss like a good chunk of the rest of the season now because he got hurt.
Yeah.
And
They started
that's-
up on Saturday,
Yeah.
the league again. They played the final on Thursday. They started up on
which
Saturday.
I don't agree with, by the way. I do think they should have given more days off. Because the Capitals had no one go for the Four Nations, and they had like I can't remember which team they played, but it had someone who had like both a lot of US and Canadian players, and they spanked that team.
You want to know who that was?
Was it us?
That was the Penguins, 8-3,
Yeah,
buddy.
8-3.
8-3.
I tried to block that game out of my memory after, but I knew the Capitals beat someone pretty bad, and I was like, oh yeah, that was somebody.
Yeah, that was us.
Yeah, but again,
So other leagues
again,
want to
a
do
lot of
this.
players that went to the fucking Four Nations.
So a lot of leagues are expecting on like the success of this to see how they could carry it on. And there was a lot of talk on sports radio about like this is what the NBA should be doing and this and that. But I don't, and this is where the topic of discussion comes in. I don't think the NBA can replicate what the NHL did with Four Nations. I don't think they could get the NFL to replicate this success. It's very very different, like Austin was alluding to, like you were talking about, like the pride of it, you know.
It's different because I don't think these guys want to go out there and get hurt.
What if they were bringing in like other countries? Like what if the NBA brought in like they do for the Olympics?
We would mop them, unfortunately. Like there are some other countries that can put up a fight, and obviously like the US is not like. I mean that's why we won
France
gold.
in there, get Serbia in there.
Yeah, I mean it would kind of work, but they would be close matches. But I still don't think that it like. I don't know. I think a lot of US players would opt out too, is the thing, which the NBA wouldn't want. But
I just think it would be the rosters of nations for a basketball tournament like that would be so unfair. Yeah. The US would be so stacked to compare to what France would have or Serbia would have or Australia would have. Like if you look at the NHL, like Canada, US, Finland, Sweden, all these countries are evenly matched on a roster. Obviously the US and Canada have the most stacked, but like these countries that these players come from are all evenly matched. Even if you looked at, you know, like the Russian team who wasn't in there and all this, like there's a lot of teams. Look at World Baseball Classic. I mean, the US has a great squad, but we're not sleeping on Japan, the Dominican Republic, Mexico, Colombia. Like these are some evenly that's what makes it fun, is because that these people love playing for their nations, and it's almost an even match. If the NBA does this, Team USA is just going to spank everybody, and it's just going to be what was the point, you know? And then these guys are going to dog
who shows up. Yes, no, you're right. The NFL, you cannot do different nations because no one else really plays American football.
Right. So I mean that would be hard.
What if for basketball you did whatever countries were beefing that year, they came to the table.
Israel, Palestine, put them in.
All right, maybe that one.
That you walked yourself into that
one. Russia, Ukraine, put them in.
Now that sounds insensitive.
USA, Canada, 2026. We're bound to
Guys, why
really. He's
why
going to turn
can't we
up
just
this year.
settle it on the court?
What's that?
I said, why can't we just settle it on the court? You know?
Yeah, games to 21, 1s and 2s, check up top. Come on.
That's right. Winner gets Kyiv, you know?
Okay, but what I said was fucked up, right? Yeah, no, what I said was fucked up. Sure.
Well,
yeah, you're right. That was a little insensitive.
All right.
Apologies.
It's all good. I don't know. I just don't think it would be, if the NBA did it, it would be successful. And like you said, it's really about like if the players really want to do it, if they're willing to do it. We all know hockey players are willing to do it. Baseball players, any chance they could get to throw their country's jersey on, no question. NBA, I just don't think they care enough.
They get paid a lot, and it's hockey players still get. I mean, they also get paid a good amount, but when you're making like 4 to 5 million a year, and you get to play for your country, it's easier to kind of put your body on the line than a guy who's making like $45 million a year. And it's like, yeah, I might just sit out these set of like these 4 or 5 games or whatever. Like they're not that meaningful to me.
But
I'm
doesn't the
already making
NBA
millions of like an exuberant amount of money.
doesn't the NBA have like an in-season tournament?
They
Also,
do.
like
I was gonna bring that up. I think someone had suggested this on like sports radio, but they said get rid of the All-Star game itself. Do the in-season tournament later in the year. And so that way you replace the in-season tournament final, like you replace the All-Star game with the in-season tournament final. You can still do the other bullshit like the 3-point contest, the dunk contest, whatever. You can still do that during the weekend. You make that like a big event. But you just have like there's no more All-Star game. It's just the teams who have like are playing in that tournament final. And I kind of like that idea more than like I didn't realize the tournament was over. They play it during like regular basketball.
right. I think that's confusing. I think the NFL screwed up the whole thing when they stopped going to Hawaii. I thought that was the bit. You go to the Pro Bowl, you're going to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And now they're doing it in Louisiana. It's like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go to Hawaii. Okay, like, I get it. Like, I'm not saying you have to full on tackle like, it was in the old days, but like, this flag football bullshit's just not working. The skills competitions are cool, and they did them too in the early days, but like, I thought it was like, thought that was the gig. Like you go to Hawaii, you get to play with people you don't play with before. You pull out all the trick plays, the fake punts, all this and that. Like that's fun. That's what people watch that,
Yeah, I don't really know how. Like, I don't know how else you fix it. Really, it's all down to the players. They're still hosting the games. Like they could still go and play. It's just it's on them.
Do you think that like social media has a reason or something to do with that? Like that people are so in the public view now that people aren't as drawn to the TV to see those people play anymore because it's not as special of an event.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that could play a part in it. I will say, I think the NBA was close to fixing it this year. They did a tournament style like All-Star game where they had like whoever won like the rookie game, they got to move into like there's basically 4 teams. The All-Star draft like was kind of broken into 3 teams, and then whoever won the rookie game played as the 4th team in the tournament. And they basically just did like best of one, like like for games to 40, you win and you move on. But they kind of shot themselves in the foot because they basically had Kevin Hart like not even like announcing the games, but like having a mic to the arena and like roasting some of the players like during timeouts and stuff. Which I think not that it hurt the players' feelings, but it's kind of like, damn, bro, like I'm trying to play a game and you're here like making fun of me. Like that's kind of fucked up. And then halfway through the championship game, they stopped it to do it like a 10-minute tribute to TNT. Like to the guys who do like the Inside the NBA show and whatnot, because I guess it's leaving after this year because the NBA's did a new broadcast deal or whatever. But they stopped the championship like midway to do like a whole whatever, and I think players kind of gave up after that.
Didn't they stop the All-Star game too to do like for Kevin Hart to do a set?
Well, yeah, it was like all of that. It was like that, the tribute, like they stopped the game for like a while.
Oh, okay. So that was all the same thing.
Yeah. So like,
yeah, that's a little weird.
It seemed like the players were about it until the NBA started pulling some shenanigans like that. But I don't know.
That's like it's like people trying to, they think that they got to inject something new.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Although I shouldn't be speaking on this. I didn't watch it. I haven't been watching the season. So
do you guys want to go into Victor's Italian restaurant get up, or do we want to go into me thinking if we're too old to be going out at our age?
I think you just have to naturally go into it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm interested to hear Victor's Italian. I'm like curious to know what it is.
It's not
but,
even anything. It was just I was watching a video on like Neapolitan pizza, and it made me reminded me of Mamma Mia's.
Oh, Mamma Mia!
And how much I fucking missed that place.
Have you been to Sicily in Middletown?
No,
dude.
Unless was it that pizza that we picked up one time, or no?
It was. It was.
So I've kind of been there, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was. We got to go.
The tiramisu at Mamma Mia's.
I'll never forget that.
I will never forget that either. Went there sometimes with Vic just for the tiramisu.
Yeah. Mike and I would go like right before work sometimes. We would grab a Peroni and the fucking pie. Like 1 p.m. and then we would just fucking go to work. I was vibing with the waitress too before it fucking burned down.
That was a scam.
My sister worked there.
Oh yeah, that's right. She did.
I didn't know that actually.
Pour one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking missed that place.
Actually, hold on. Maybe I'm tripping. I think she worked there, but I don't know if she worked there when it was Mamma Mia's. Because it was something else after that.
There was a diner, then there's Mamma Mia's. There might have been something else, and now it's a
Mexican
Mexican
used to be a nasty diner.
Didn't it burn down?
Mamma Mia's burned down, yeah.
Okay, I think my sister was at it before it was Mamma Mia's then.
Yeah, so it was probably the diner.
When it was the diner. Yeah, when it was a diner. Rest in peace to Mamma Mia's. Yeah. And then did it have a new location, or did it come back?
I thought they were trying to bring it back. It didn't last long.
Rest in pieces.
No, you could get that kind of pizza somewhere in Middletown for sure. I'm sure in New York you can get something that, well, I don't know. Is New York pizza just too saturated? Like, is it just New York pizza or bust, or can you get like a European style pizza?
You can get a European style. Dude, you can literally get anything out here. It is so insane.
Also, it's not even the best pizza in the tri-state, so.
What isn't the best pizza in the tri-state?
New York pizza.
No.
Oh, I agree. 100%. You know that they have on the sign now, and this is probably like a known thing. It's just new for me. When I was driving into Connecticut the other day, it had the like
pizza capital of the world.
World.
Fucking right.
On the sign.
Self-proclaimed.
Connecticut.
Yeah. Damn.
I was like, fuck yeah, Ned Lamont. Put that up there.
I think I found the guy who used to own Mamma Mia's on Facebook, and he just works at FedEx now.
Damn.
Listen, that
what a fucking, that's a waste of talent.
That is a waste of talent, because that pizza oven came right off the boat from Napoli. That pizza oven was not a fucking no, it did come from Napoli. And now what did he ship it back at his job? What did he do?
Probably. Yo, ask him, send him a message on Facebook and be like, dude, who was your vendor for the tiramisu, or did you make it there?
Is that your mom making that? Like, we gotta hire this guy to make pizzas, bro. Bro, we gotta get this dude out of the. We gotta get you out of fucking FedEx, brother.
Yeah, at least go to UPS. Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
I didn't think any of this was gonna stay in, to be honest, but I think I might keep that part in.
That he works at FedEx?
No. Just like any of this bit, I thought that was just gonna be for us, just because we had a weird transition into it. But I might keep some of that.
DM him and put him in touch with Papa Sleb and get a job.
Big Mike only got a couple years left. He could take his spot. You know what I'm saying? We'll get him.
No, we're not letting this dude handle packages anymore. We're making him make pizzas. I'm fucking locking him in one of our basements. I can't mine's an apartment now, but somebody else's basement. We're gonna make this dude make fucking pizzas and tiramisu.
Hey, buddy, we all don't have basements, so
no, I think your parents' house does, right? We can fucking lock him in there.
Listen, I'll make you the tiramisu. That's not the problem. I'll make you the tiramisu.
No, that's not.
No, it's not the same.
You don't
it's
get
not
it.
The same. It's not the point. The point is we're going to kidnap. This dude's name is Massimo. We're kidnapping Massimo.
You sound so passionate about this.
Yes.
Jeez.
We're kidnapping him, and we're making. Good. I'm watching the fucking oven right now. I'm looking at the flames in the oven of the fucking pizza right now.
What is this? What are you looking at?
His Facebook. I'm on this guy's Facebook.
How'd you find him?
I just typed in Mamma Mia Southington, and whatever popped up.
Is there still a Facebook page?
No, there isn't. It's only him.
Going to town on that pizza oven.
Yeah.
I mean,
The thing burned up in the fire, though, didn't it?
It was slamming.
It's either he ran it or this guy did,
Austin, next time you come up
cooked.
here, the three of us are going to Sicily and Middletown. We're gonna get it.
Dude, I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to. Let's set a date.
Yeah. Did you guys see the seal that somehow like washed ashore on the streets of New Haven?
I saw that, and did you see the bull that was going around in Kent?
No. What the no.
What?
You guys didn't see the bull?
No.
All right, tell us about the seal.
going on?
Tell us about the seal. I'm going to pull up the bull.
Listen, I honestly don't know anything about the seal in New Haven. All I know is it somehow got onto the streets. And I don't think anyone knows how it got onto the streets.
No, and didn't they ship it to Mystic?
Yeah, they ended up like it's at the Mystic Aquarium. I'm actually going to a wedding there in a couple weeks.
You want to check it out?
Yeah, I mean a couple weeks. All right, I'm a couple months, but if it's still there, I'm going to be pretty pumped. I'm going to want to hang out with that thing.
Yeah, dude. You'd be like, yo, which one was the one that was on the streets?
But
Probably has his own exhibit by now.
But it was somehow 5 miles from the water. I don't like. Can seals? I mean, I know seals can like crawl on land and stuff, but like this dude took a 5-mile trek inland.
Maybe it hitchhiked. Maybe it got a ride in the back of a flatbed.
I don't know. Like
that just doesn't seem logical
yeah.
to me. Like that seems like one of those things where there's like a really reasonable explanation for how that happens, but you can't think of it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Scottish Highland bull on loose in Connecticut's rural hill country. This is in Kent. A Scottish Highland bull is the talk of the town of rural hills of western Connecticut, where it has been roaming for over a month in the frigid winter weather and escaping from its confines. Look at the photo of this thing. Just a baby.
Yeah. But see, that's
It's just a baby. That thing is fucking huge.
that is more plausible.
Than a seal walking around the
Yes.
streets of West Haven.
Yes, it's way more plausible. A bull got
Wait,
a bull got out in a rural area of Connecticut where there's a bunch of farms. Yeah, that makes sense. A seal is on land?
Wait, but hold on. Dumb question. Can seals be out of water indefinitely? Like, can they just breathe regular
I don't
air?
think indefinitely. I think they could be out of like the water.
Here's
Like
how we're
they
gonna do
definitely
this.
can like have some sort of like
Because they're not moving quick, right?
No.
So to go 5 miles without dipping into water.
Okay, this now there's conflicted. All right, so the New York Times says that it was a 1/4 mile from the sea, which is obviously way more plausible.
Super plausible.
But the Washington Post says 5 miles from the water. That's a big gap. 1/2 mile, 1/4 mile, 5 miles. Who's to
1/2 mile
say?
makes sense. Who's to
Seals can stay out of the water for several days at a time as
Oh.
they are semi-aquatic animals and regularly haul out onto land to rest and give birth, molt, and warm up in the sun, depending on the species and situations. They may spend a significant portion of their day on land.
Okay.
Okay, that helps, but that doesn't tell me how a seal goes for 5
Yeah.
miles. Like instinctually, that seems like against what a seal would want to do.
Oh man, they're saying you could vote to like the aquarium was trying to like get his name, like vote like you could vote for like what to name him, but the names seem locked in. It's Chappie, Tyler, Vinny, and River. Are the 4 options.
None of those are puns
Yeah.
on the seal situation, and I feel like that's a missed opportunity.
I'm
It's
going
a-
Chappie.
It said Chappie for the street he was found on, Chapel Street. Tyler for the officer who found him. Vinny because he was close to Italian Worcester Street. And River for the river he swam up.
What's the name? River?
Oh, he swam up a river?
That's what they say. This is what this article says.
That's
So
not even the
maybe-
name of the river. It's just river.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, not everybody's blessed with creativity like you.
I'll
Mike.
say River is
the
at
fuck outta here.
5%.
You
of the
pissed
vote
me
right
off
now.
so much.
Also,
Maybe
I
the
agree with
world's
what
a-
Austin just said
Oh,
there.
wait, hold on, I lost my audio.
This is my brain every time you fucking speak to me. Oh, good. He can't hear.
That's
He can't
your
hear.
brain?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I'm going Chappie. I'm going Chappie.
I'm going Chappie too. I think that's probably the best name out of all of them. But
I'm going Chappie.
Sorry, I missed all that. But if you had to make up a name, what would it be?
that's what we're going with.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Can you-
It looks a lot like
Can you
him. To
blur
be
out my
honest.
last name, please?
No.
Thank you. Where was this again? Mystic or West?
hold
No,
on,
it's,
Mike.
it was in New Haven. They're sending the seal to Mystic.
Oh, Sally's. Sally the Seal. Easy. Named after the pizza. New Haven.
Sally the Seal.
it's a
and you were
male.
complaining about River.
Because Victor said they wanted to name it River after the river it flew up, but the river's name is not River. The river has to have a
There are
name.
people named River. River Phoenix.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one.
Name
So-
another.
Yeah. Go ahead. We'll wait. Besides River Phoenix.
All right. Hold on.
No, but Mike, I was expecting some deep meaning and deep connection to literature or something
Every
like that.
time I
or,
say that, you give me that stupid fucking look that you talked about earlier in this episode.
What? Say what?
Every time it's like, oh, every time Mike speaks, I always have to do that Jim from The Office where I like look over and I'm like, the fuck
do.
is this?
Dude,
Yeah.
you just complained about somebody saying River and it's Sally the Seal.
What are you coming up with?
I'm telling you, I'm not that creative, so I'm not going to come up with a good name.
This is
But you're the
this
one
is
that's
Austin.
complaining about
This
it
is what
over here.
pisses me off about Austin. He'll be like, "Hey, I'm not that creative. So you're more creative? Can you think of a name? I think of a name. Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
No, I think that's fair.
No,
I
wait,
think that's
you mean-
totally
It's a
fair.
dumbass name, bro.
Mike, Mike,
You couldn't have
Mike.
named him anything cooler.
Did you
Yeah,
did you
dude.
think of one?
Chappie for the street he was found
No,
on.
you picked. You didn't even think of Chappie. You picked it off a
Hold on.
fucking list. Which of the options were Chappie and River?
No,
Come
I
on,
gave him
dog.
a name. It was your name.
No.
And you said you didn't
Mike.
like that.
Mike, you're telling me that if we were talking about a manatee and I was complaining that somebody named that manatee something really stupid, and then I come in here and I'd be like, oh, we should call it Manny the Manatee. You wouldn't be like, that's such a dumbass name.
You know what? That's the difference between our friendship. I wouldn't shit on your dreams. If you
Shut
wanted
the
to,
hell
what are we
up.
talking
Come
about
on.
right now?
You would.
This is why men's mental health is down the
Stop,
fucking drain, guys.
Please.
Oh my
Down the
God.
I'm gonna start
drain.
beeping that out in the post credits.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Everybody's going to think we're so insensitive because
Well,
we're
because
out
you
here
are.
talking
Let's
about
just go. Let's just.
fucking cry me a
Yeah.
river every time you talk about men's mental health.
Crimea River, the seal, by the way.
Hey.
See, Austin, you didn't even think of that.
Why didn't they just name
Yeah,
him?
but neither did you,
Why
Mike.
didn't they just name him Seal after the artist Seal?
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah, you like that one,
That would've
Mike?
been
I
good.
think that's better than fucking Sally.
Yeah, definitely. Well, a
We
lot
just-
of
it
things. are
tied
better
in.
than
We were
salad.
talking about pizza capital of the world.
Yeah, but they already gave him the
We're
one
talking
Vinny
about
for
New Haven.
Italian Worcester Street.
Right, which also, by the way, offensive.
Yeah, a little insensitive, you know. Could have named it something, you know, anything else, but
Right.
fucking Sally.
It's better than River.
Is it?
Yes. It's a lot better than River.
I don't know.
It makes sense. It's an homage to its home state.
Yeah, but you know, Sally's not really like a guy's name. It's not a boy's name.
I didn't know we had
Sal.
to be specific.
Sal would have been cool.
Sal the Seal.
Sal
There
Pepe.
you go.
2 names.
Yeah.
2 just a full Italian name, maybe. See, that's better.
Giuseppe.
Yeah, Giuseppe. Yeah. Look at that. That's way better than fucking Sally. I'll tell you that. Giuseppe.
That's-
We should DM them right now and say that should be in the fucking running, other than fucking Vinny.
Oh my god.
so good. Mike, we just expect more from you.
Yeah.
That's all. You know, if you're going to complain about the creativity, you got to come correct, you know? Go ahead. Hold on. Now it's the time of the podcast where Mike wraps the microphone cord around his neck. Here we go. Almost on cue.
I think I need to take a vacation from this podcast.
Mike. Oh, Mike.
Yeah, you sweet summer child.
You sweet summer child.
not gonna go through. We all know that.
Just wait.
Oh, I actually went to a Jewish funeral today.
Oh well,
Actually,
condolences.
quite touching. It was for somebody in B's work,
Okay.
but quite touching. And when I was there, I was sitting down, and there was a woman to the left of me, and she was like, "Do you have a yarmulke to wear?" And I looked at her, and then I looked at B, and I started like frantically searching around the room. I was like, "Is that a thing? Even if I'm not Jewish, should I be wearing a yarmulke right now?" And I didn't know. I never got an official answer, so I wanted to pose that to you guys.
Well, what did you
Is that like a
tell
thing?
her?
Do you need
What
to-
did you tell her?
I said, I don't have one. I'm not Jewish.
And then what did she respond to? Oh, so
She's like,
you
"Oh,
told her you weren't Jewish.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then what did she say after that?
She was a friend. She was a friend. So she knew actually, she probably didn't know that I wasn't Jewish. But she was like, "Oh, you'll probably be fine." Like,
So it sounded like she
think
didn't
I
even
see
know
other
the
people.
answer.
no, but I wanted to know whether that's
Yeah.
like if I was offending people by not wearing one.
I do
I didn't know
have
what
a
that was.
strange memory of like going to a bat mitzvah and having to put one on. Or maybe even just having the option to put one on. I was like, oh hell yeah, I'll throw this thing on. It seems pretty cool. But now
Yeah.
I can't remember if that was like an optional choice where I put that on, or if it was like, hey, you should just throw this thing on because we're in the temple.
I tried to look around. Like, I thought that maybe they're
Google
handing
it.
them out like pamphlets or something for the people that don't have them. No.
Well, okay, Victor, were you in the synagogue?
Yeah, we were in like the holy.
Okay,
It wasn't
then
like like again their synagogue was like in an office building, but like still it was like their holy place of worship.
Yeah, okay, then that makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. Maybe that's. But how would you know? I mean, you're walking in there. I mean, how would you know?
Well, that's right. I didn't know, but I didn't want to offend anybody.
No,
So I went through there.
You went in with no harmful intent. I think you'd be all right.
Which, by the way, this was a totally different experience for me too, because I'm used to like, you go to like a Catholic funeral, you walk in there, you sit down, they do the whole song and dance of the mass and everything like that. Somebody goes up there, they say a few words, maybe one person is chosen, maybe two people are chosen to go up there and speak on behalf of whoever has passed. I was at this for 2 to 3 hours, and every single person, and this may be an anomaly, right? I'm not sure, but every person that got up there had pages of things that they wanted to say about the person that had passed. Pages.
That is beautiful, and it is nice to see that person was loved. That's
Yeah.
too long. We gotta wrap this shit up. Come on,
it
expedite the
was
process.
long.
I'm sorry.
It was long, and the part for me that was a little tough was I'm getting over a cold, right? And I was in there the entire time. I was going through like super hot flashes and then really cold,
Jesus.
and my eyes were getting watery and my nose getting stuffed up. And I was like, the only reason that I'm okay right now is because everybody else is also got like the teary eye going. But dude, I was suffering, right? In that whole thing the entire time. I thought it was going to be a 30-minute process, and here we are almost 3 hours into this.
You're crying because you're cold. The person next to you is like, oh my God, I can't believe you cared about him that much. And you're like, honestly, I didn't even know the guy.
Like, how do you know him? And I was like,
I don't. Also, it says that you don't have to wear. Also, I guess yarmulke is not even the real word for it. It's called a kippah, but you don't have to wear them.
Oh,
But they are provided at bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs. So
okay, that makes
Well,
sense.
that was what I was trying to get at. Is like, I understand if it's in a place of worship, it's probably best to do so. But like, what if somebody's very strict in their own religion? Like, isn't that like if somebody's a strict Catholic, like I don't think that's good for them to put on, or do something of a different religion,
That's maybe that's true, but I've never heard that. I've never heard it. But also at the same time, what does it matter, right? Like, if I truly had a problem with it, I wouldn't be there in the first place.
No, I don't think it's a. I don't. I don't think it's about it being a problem. I think it's about, right, like if I was a strict Catholic or if I was very deep into the Catholic faith and I went to a synagogue for a funeral, right? Vice versa. Like, wanted to kind of go against my beliefs to wear one of those. So I get why people wouldn't, but like the three of us would be very open to, not disrespecting any religion. So we would do it out of the respect, But like, what if somebody's actively into their faith, and by putting that on, kind of goes against what they believe in?
Well, and that's probably why it's not required.
Yeah, I'm sure they could just be like, yeah, this is not for me or whatever. But that kind of
also at the same time, go ahead.
You go ahead, because mine's gonna bring us into a different tangent.
Because all I was gonna say is, if I'm there for somebody and that's their religion, and I'm going there to pay respects to them, and that's a requirement, that's not gonna bother me, right? But to each their own, I guess.
But in retrospect, no, and I agree with that. I understand that. But in retrospect, like I have a cross on a necklace. You know what I'm saying? Like if I enter a synagogue, am I supposed to take that off? Or
Yeah,
am
it
I
starts
supposed
burning.
to leave that on?
Yeah, I don't think it's that deep.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's
like how
itching
deep
at the neck, and they make you take it off. No, I don't think it. I think it's all right. Like I don't think it's. They're not gonna kick you out of the church for wearing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also I feel like that's what this is supposed to be about, right? Like if we're all here to respect everybody else's religions and everybody's, allowed to have their own belief systems, then who am I to make some kind of objection like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
I would want to respect the process, the culture.
What I was gonna say though, it reminds me of like the times Mike and I would celebrate Ramadan with our Muslim friends at work, dude. Oh
they
my
were
God, some of the best
nicest
feasts, dude.
The nicest dudes, the nicest guys. They would pray, and then they would eat. And remember when they did it during the winter, and we'd make sure they do it in the back, right? Because it was cold outside. And they were very like, come on, you gotta eat. Like it's the fast is over. And I remember me telling them, like, guys, this is your celebration. You eat. This is your food. This and that.
Yeah.
They were so welcoming. They would not stop. And you remember you had to eat the date first to break the fast. And you remember we cooked a couple things for them.
Yeah, we brought some stuff in, bro.
We brought some stuff in.
We were bringing stuff. I think it's because like having a non-Muslim like participate in like a Ramadan feast is like a really, really like cool sign of respect, and like not only for like us, but like for them too. Like I think they were like really like, we're their boys. I still talk to like, I mean, I'm still there, but like I talk to those dudes a bunch.
I think that's so cool. Like that to me, that should be more of a regular occurrence, right? Of experiencing other people's culture, especially through food. Like how can you like
slamming?
It's easy for people to bond over
some of the food. Like they were like things I had never like had seen before or tried before. Just fucking incredible. The way they cook their chicken. They're all Sudanese. They're all pretty much like they're all from like the same region of Sudan. Bro, some of the recipes they got out there, that shit's fucking delicious, man. Like they were bringing in crazy things, man. And yeah, I can't wait for like if I'm still there while Ramadan's happening, like
it's coming up.
Is it?
It's
okay,
coming
well,
up
bad.
in March.
It's
coming up soon.
I'm gonna be grabbing a plate then for sure.
And that's the thing is we were saying no to be respectful. Like these guys haven't eaten all day. Like, they were still working their job while they're not eating. We're like, no, make sure you guys eat. But they would sit us down.
They would make sure we got food first. Like some of those dudes were like, no, grab your plate. And like they would serve us. And I was like, bro, like I just had lunch, man. You guys haven't eaten all day. Like, please. Like, and they're like, no. Like, we're going to make sure you guys like have stuff. It's it's a very welcoming culture and stuff like that. Those guys are so cool.
Would you guys want to go on vacation to Iraq with me?
Like the country Iraq? Do you have to go to Iraq? Like, are you just
no? Yeah, is that a thing for you?
I'm gonna send you guys. I'm actually very intrigued. I saw this, and I've been doing my research. I saw this. No, it's not a nicest recruitment, asshole. What's so funny about it? I'm being serious about going.
It's an activation letter for Mike.
What's so funny about it? This is a tourist destination.
Oh.
Yeah.
I listen, Mike. I'm sure it's beautiful, and I'm sure
No,
it's
You
a
no,
great
guys
trip.
stereotyping?
Is it at the top
You
of my
guys are
list?
stereotyping of what this could
I don't want
potentially
to
be.
click this link, man.
Nobody
I'm gonna be
is
real to you.
stereotyping.
It says, "Come to Iraq."
It's a real link. It's a real link.
Really?
No, it's a real link. It's a real link. I promise you. I promise you.
Bro, we're getting
What's so funny? This is a real thing.
Oh
That's
no!
That's not even close.
No,
Come
listen.
on, you guys are
Listen.
crazy. This is
I
a
would
real
be
thing.
down to travel. I'm just not clicking a link that says "Come to Iraq 1999."
I already clicked.
It's
on
real.
it.
So there's this guy. I don't.
Actually, a beautiful website. By
This
the way,
guy is the guy's name is.
It's the Bruce.
What is it? Is the Bruce? He's on social media. He's social media whatever, and he uses he's in comedy, but he uses his platform and he does tours of Iraq because Iraq is trying
I'm gonna show
to
you some other dudes
gain
who've
up
done
its
some tours in
tourism, this and that.
oh Jesus! Holy shit!
And I'm proud to
No,
be
listen.
an American.
You're right. This is really
where
nice.
at least it's beautiful, and the guy and he's the guy that takes you around and does all these tours, and you see these aspects of the world that you see in social studies books. I'm serious. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm going to pull the trigger and go this year, but like I'm serious about it. You guys know that I'm into going to places that not many people get to go, or see things that not many people get to see. I would seriously consider if the three of us or whatever the case like got together and was like, you guys want to do this and just do a fucking experience, I would totally
trip
do
to
it.
Iraq.
I'm not opposed to going on a trip here. It's just not something that was at the top of my list, or even something that I thought about. To be
But
honest,
yeah, okay, it's not on the top of the list. I understand that, but like maybe it turns out to be the best trip you ever took.
Yeah, that could totally be possible. But what brought this up for you? Did you just come across it on the internet? Or?
Yeah, it was just me. It was essentially me just following that guy as the Bruce. He's funny, and then I saw one of his videos about like, hey, like I'm teaming up with like, I don't know if it's like the government of Iraq or like Iraqi tourism, but he's like, I'm doing.
I was expecting a look from you.
I'm looking through the itinerary still.
Oh. He said that he was linking up with
in
the
my head, I
government or something
immediately thought
like
like,
that.
oh yeah, this is just kind of like what Saudi Arabia does with like sports washing and like. Yeah, so basically sports washing is like Saudi Arabia like pumps a bunch of like money into events and stuff to make you forget that they're like an incredibly like awful country. Like, yeah, which hey, listen, they are not the only ones to do so. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, where we are now.
Canada.
But that's basically what it is. Like they pump a bunch of like money into tourism and like all this stuff to be like, yeah, like guys, we're a completely, totally cool nation that doesn't do anything wrong or bad to our citizens or any other citizens, in the world or whatever. We totally don't bomb other countries. But yeah, come to Dubai
by and
or
enjoy.
come to I don't remember if Dubai's in Saudi Arabia or not, but you know what I mean. It's come to this part of the world and we'll
No, Dubai's
it's
not
like that's basically what they do. And when you said like, oh yeah, he partners with the government, that's like my first thought is this is just like a program to.
I don't know if he partners.
And again, listen. Yeah, I don't know how much of this is
going to
all
the good parts of Iraq.
We've gone into some interesting. Yeah, we've gone to some. Really
I think we have gone into some
here,
dangerous territory.
But like, if we're being honest, what Iraq has done and what we've done to Iraq, we've done a lot worse to Iraq than I think Iraq has done to us. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it's also like if somebody took a tour of like the U.S. or D.C. Like, what? They're going to show you the good parts.
I mean,
too.
it's not the same.
It's the same
definitely
exact
not the same.
thing. It's the same exact
No.
thing. They're going to show you the good stuff. They're going to show you the good stuff if you do a tour of the U.S., if you do the tour of certain cities and this and that.
Yeah, but there's definitely a difference, like in terms of what's the areas that are safe to travel here are not the same as the areas that are safe to travel in Iraq, and vice versa, right? Because there's different threats and there's different cultures and everything like that. So it's hard to compare the two.
No,
No?
I was going to say,
Or
I
am
think
I
you
being
probably are
insensitive?
safer in Iraq than you are here, but
I think there's
Ooh. Well, I'm pretty safe in this country, but
yeah, I think we would be
Other
pretty
people-
like that. I think we'd be pretty safe in Iraq too, and here for the most part. But
we're basing it off of perception, though. We don't know. Like
Yeah.
Iraq, we could find out that
You're
Iraq
100% right.
may be safer.
it's totally possible.
I'm saying, who have you met that was like, yeah, I took a vacation, I did a tour.
stop saying a
Like,
tour of Iraq.
yeah,
I know
I
a
know,
bunch of
Vic, I'm
people
trying to
who've
word
done
it
tours in
different.
Iraq.
I'm trying. You know what? We're gonna move on from this topic. This is getting to the,
But I also don't think that that's necessarily a good reason to travel.
I don't think it's
either.
a batteries. I get what you mean, but
Right, like I haven't heard of and this isn't equating the two, but it's like I haven't heard a bunch of people say that I've traveled to Antarctica for the summer, but I'm also not inclined to do that either.
But Iraq has like some of the world's oldest like artifacts and structures. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason. Okay, you nobody vacations to Antarctica because they know what they're getting over there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're getting some snow, ice caps, and all that. Like, but people go to
Yeah.
Iraq because there's some significant pieces of the world
No, you're
still
right,
standing.
yeah.
You know?
I agree.
It's not something
Yeah,
I could
no, I
do this
agree.
year or next
I
year
agree.
because I have a little bit of travel funds tied up to my trip next year. But I want to go to Japan.
Where's your
and
trip
the
next year?
Philippines for my 30th, which you guys are invited to, but
Oh,
like I
Japan
know
is
that
so fun.
that's not really like a realistic thing to just invite people to. Like, you guys, if you can come. Like,
No, I did-
it's an open invite, but
No, I did
Yeah.
my trip to Japan. It was fantastic. It's fantastic. Mike,
Yeah.
that's one
Come to
that you
Japan
should
with
do
me.
as well.
I'm not saying I want it. I just want to do a couple more first that I
You
have
have
to
to dip your
hit off
toes
the
in the
list.
water.
I would go
You
to
have to dip your toes in the water
What's that?
for Asian countries, is what you're saying?
No, you know what? I'd be pretty interested in Korea.
I want to do
I
like
would go to South Korea.
all three when I go next year. My goal is to do all three, but Japan is like the number one because I want to go to the race there with my brother. And then the Philippines we have to go to just because we're that like on that side of the world and we have to go home. But
Yeah,
if I could find time for Korea, I would love to do Korea there.
You know which country I heard was
Yeah.
beautiful? Is Laos.
We got to do a boy
Laos
trip
is
to
beautiful.
Thailand too.
That's what I've been told.
For reasons.
No. No. No.
Yes.
We
For
also
other
gotta take a trip to
reasons.
Turkey
Yeah. All right.
for other reasons.
Do you guys want to end it with one more bit? And then, I was going to say, there's a
Sure.
lot of
Yeah,
us.
because
I got to do some
we're gonna have to
surgery
cut out of
week.
this. So it might-
I tell you guys that right now. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
bit.
there's a lot of good
There's
stuff.
a lot of
I
good
just don't
stuff
know
in
how
there.
much I can fucking put out there. If we made any sort of money off of this, I would say most of this can stay in. But considering we have jobs, this fucking guy.
It's my brain every time Austin says something to me.
All right. Speaking of travel, though,
That's hilarious.
and not to spook you out, man, because I know you're leaving sometime this week, right? Are you fucking worried about these like airplanes falling out the sky or what, man? Like, this shit looks crazy.
Did you hear the one today? Did you hear the one today?
There was one today. No,
You didn't hear about the one today? Well, okay, it didn't get flown out of the sky. But there was one today. It was an American Airlines flight from JFK to New Delhi, India. There was I think I don't know if there was an incident on the plane or something. They didn't release all the information, but something happened on like from a security standpoint on the plane where they had to get the Eurofighters out and escort this plane to land in Rome, Italy. It was American Airlines flight from JFK to New Delhi, and it couldn't make it to India. They had to escort them with Eurofighter jets to Rome to land. What the specifics of it, I don't know.
Some of that stuff we're cutting from the last part. Obviously, I don't know how much is going to stay in. I don't like the fact that I have the Iraq tour like thing, the 7-day tour. I wanted to type in flight Rome American Airlines, and the first 4 things that have popped up are all the flights from 9/11. I don't like that my Google just did that. I don't like that Google just did
I
that.
don't like that Google did that either.
I'm still gonna, flight Rome American Airlines.
It was a flight,
dude.
Are
we all on a list?
No,
now?
it was supposed to go to.
I think if I type
New
in
Delhi.
flight Rome American Airlines, just those 4 words, it'll pop up. Security concern. No one's really said anything yet.
I don't know if they're
It
really
doesn't look
specific.
But my question is, are these things really happening that frequently and they're just not covered? Or are we really just seeing some weird uptick in
I think it's a weird uptick.
issues happening with
I
planes
do
recently?
think like there have been some cuts to the FAA and the the air traffic control stuff. And I do think, I mean, obviously with the Washington one, that was clearly just a little bit of pilot error in that helicopter, and maybe a little bit of
Yep.
like air traffic control slip up there. But like the one in Toronto 2 days ago or whatever, like that one, I don't know what the fuck happened. It looked like it landed hard and then just fucking rolled over. I don't think anyone died there and everything was fine, but like that's still fucking like crazy to watch. Like,
yeah, and I don't know if it was an
it
issue
might have
with
been,
ice
maybe
or
they
snow
didn't
or
have the
something like
de-icing.
that.
I don't know. I
that
didn't
was
look
going
into
on.
it, but it's like,
But again,
it seems like there's
why?
one
Why
every
is this
single
happening
week.
so
Mike,
much?
are you going to talk about the American Airlines one? Because I pulled it up too.
I was gonna say this. I saw this today on social media, but the one with that Delta one to Toronto, I think it was part of it was the weather condition and part of it was the wheel. And once the wheel fell off, obviously because the wings hold fuel, that one flipped over, and obviously then the other one was too heavy and vice versa. But I saw this on social media today, and obviously we have to do our own research, but this is from a verified account. It says U.S. plane crashes in 2025 versus 2024. The National Transport Safety Board has reported 87 aviation accidents involving all kinds of aircraft since the start of the year. That includes 62 in January and 27 so far in February. That does not count Wednesday's crash in Arizona. That is a decrease when compared to that is a decrease when compared to this time last year. In 2024, there were 80 accidents in January and 93 in February, according to the agency. So I think that we're hearing it more now because they're kind of one-off incidents. And I think that just like aviation in general is just getting now more attention because they're more freaky
it
things.
Seems like, I mean, again, you just said there was like what 80 in this year alone or whatever so far. Like those could be like anything. I feel like when we're talking like major accidents with like critical like life lost, I feel like we've had a couple more. This one also for the Rome one, they said it was a bomb threat. They went on, checked the plane, everything was fine, and they took back off. So
that's what when they said security whatever, and then they had the direct, I was thinking that a passenger either made a threat or there was some sort of incident involving a passenger, or so that one I figured wasn't like a plane malfunction or anything like that. But
I mean, we have to like think about this in terms of context, right? Like I think the FAA website says that they provide service to more than 45,000 flights per 45,000 flights. 45,000 flights every single day. So, I mean, we're talking about a very small percentage, but still, right? It seems odd that there's an uptick now, and it's hard to not correlate that with all the things that are going on in the news, but it just seems too weird. It seems like too much of a coincidence. And I know I'm putting kind of like my aluminum foil hat on here, but
I just
weird.
think that it, and I've learned this all throughout my time traveling. Like, there's just never a good time to fly.
no,
There's never a good time.
mean,
There's my first flight ever in my life was 2014 after high school in Italy, and that was when Malaysia Airlines went down. Remember that? And they still to this day have not found that plane and found that black box. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I do,
but
yeah.
I just feel like there's incidents happening all the time, and that there's never going to be a secure moment to fly.
I'm looking
And
at
it's
like
just-
the
it is what it is.
Wikipedia pages for like just like 2025 in aviation, and what I could say is like obviously the numbers were more like higher for this time last year, but when we're talking about like actual fatal events, this year has like weirder instances. Last year had the guy dying because he got sucked out the door on that Max 737, and I think we were talking about planes in the same regard around this time last year too, because the 737s were like constantly getting grounded. You had this like the door blowout where that guy got sucked out of the plane, like all of this shit. So I don't think it's really, I don't know. I think it's probably the same. Like maybe it's just recency bias the way we're talking about it right now. But I do now that I'm like remembering that was this time last year, like I think I was talking about planes the same way. Like I don't know. It's still the safest method of travel, obviously.
It is. It's just I think it's the density of it. Like I feel like it's almost every day now that we're seeing something, right? Or at least a couple of times per week. Like these things used to be a little bit more sparse than this. But again, maybe those things weren't getting covered.
They weren't.
I don't know.
It's a DEI. And we're gonna be eliminating that.
Right man.
now.
Whatever happened to people getting hired
from this fourth
That has nothing to do with plane report.
Hey,
How does that
hired
correlate?
over there.
Austin, put your fucking finger down. How does that correlate?
That you're right. I'm making a joke, but you are right. It doesn't correlate.
You're right.
Yeah.
People were always hired on merit.
Yeah, but
gotta love it. People.
Isn't that why you
That's
got off
exactly
at
why I
Twitter?
got
This
off Twitter,
comes full circle for the first episode we ever did, that Baltimore Bridge. Remember that?
Well,
yep.
Yeah, man. I hope to. Yeah, I hope to do this again with you next
somber
Sunday.
Note for us to. Hey, hold on! Don't put that into the world.
You're gonna be.
We will be.
Jesus
We will be
Christ.
doing this
You're gonna
next
be
Sunday.
fine.
That's right.
Thanks.
We will be recording.
You're gonna be.
Throw that Pedialyte out there, Mike.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have branding like that. They're not a sponsor.
Anything
so
you guys have to end on a lighter note? Is that just it?
Just that I would I would love to be here with you guys next week, but it seems like my future is uncertain. And just in case, I'll say it's been an honor to do.
Hold on, is this a Titanic?
You know what? I take it all back. This has really been torturous.
Let me say the eulogy. Come on, let me say the eulogy.
Let's not
let me
into existence like that. Yeah.
Let's not do that.
No, you're gonna be
Mike, Victor. I'll miss you, and everybody that.
By the time, listen,
calls,
the flight's what, an hour?
It's like an hour.
Dude, by the time you get up to altitude, they're gonna descend. You're gonna be all right.
Final 5 minutes that are always the most tense.
That's right, and I'm just trying to compress those together. So now the risk may actually be higher because
that's the way I look at it.
It's still the safest method of travel.
Yeah, first, it's
the way I look at it. That's the way my brain works.
They happen in the first or last 5 minutes of a flight. Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, you technically aren't going over big bodies of water. So if anything happens,
no, I'm going over hard ground. Yeah.
Nice.
No soft landings for this guy.
Well, on that note, that was depressing.
But yeah, so hold on. I'll just take this moment to say thank you all very much. I've been happy to be in your homes these last couple of weeks, and if I get the chance to be here again, I will be a much more grateful man.
Always in our hearts.
All right,
I
let's not
appreciate
talk
that.
about that guy like he's dead.
Somehow coming out of Mike's mouth. Somehow coming out of Mike's mouth that seemed insincere.
Are you fucking for real, dude? Are you serious right now? That's some bullshit, dude. Are you serious right now?
No. I'm not serious. But do me a favor though. Next week, don't wear the glasses.
I'm logging off. I'll see you guys. Thanks for listening to the episode.
We'll see you next week. Peace.
I'm out. Fuck this. I'm out. I'm leaving the glasses on. I don't even care. Fuck it. I'm done. Fuck this outro music too. I'm done with it.
Shake the ass, Mike. Dance to it.